What's up, YouTube?
What the fuck? Get out. Warning! Warning!
I did it on purpose.
You motherfucker. Dick.
Anyways, we're out here.
God damn.
We came for a ride, I guess, because we're a little further than we usually go. But came out here to Fort Monroe. If you're familiar with the Hampton roads area, oh, they blocked that off over there.
What?
They blocked that area off over there, so you can't see the bunkers. But we came out here to Fort Monroe, just to get a ride in, I guess. I mean, is there a specific reason we came out here?
Yeah, try to get a picture in the tunnel if there isn't anybody over here.
Gotcha. Yeah, usually it's either pictures or food. while we travel further than a few miles. So we came north this time. South and west are the curves. North is more food and beer, and east is the water. So, topic for discussion today. Touch on some bike maintenance. How often do you clean your chain?
Never.
Well, that's not good. That's what you don't want to do. Every couple hundred miles, obviously, but if I ride in the rain, I definitely, at least at minimum, wipe it down and re-wax it. So here we are. This is the actual fort. Right here, you see the moat all the way around. But I don't want to mess up the history of it. So look it up if you're interested. But Fort Monroe, up here up top are a bunch of graves. Especially
Battle of the Monitor, Merrimack.
Yep. But on, I think it's that side, either the other side.
There?
I think there's two of them up there. But up there, the grave sites are for dogs, right? Remember, there was like Pebbles
Snoopy.
And Snoopy, and there was a bunch, like, I mean, unless they gave their friends nicknames like that back in the day, looks like a bunch of dogs up there. A lot of cool history here. One way. But all these houses, people can still live inside this fort. Now, I'm not sure how much that costs, but yeah, all these houses all have people in them. I'm sure it's expensive. So they had everything here. They had houses, they had barracks, they had cafeterias. Pretty much everything that you needed was inside of this fort.
What is that?
What is what?
Right there. Another tunnel?
Yeah, to go out the other side. Over here, they have all the batteries for the cannons and whatnot. They got mounts. You can barely see that one, but they have a bunch of mounts. This is a little different moto vlog from just riding. Stopped off to get some pictures of the bikes. Here you go. If you can hear her, she's talking. I think she's doing her own video. So most of these are connected and it goes all the way around. Some of them are blocked off, especially the one that houses the ammo. It is pretty cool. Fort Monroe. What is the 3rd PA Heavy Artillery and 188th Regent. Oh, volunteers. 1865, if I'm reading that properly. So you got all those like administration buildings and whatnot, and then all these are houses. So those are outside the fort. So, like I was saying about the chain, it just depends on what kind of riding I do. If it's raining, I definitely, at minimum, dry it off, put some chain wax on there. Casemate Museum, you can go there. That's actually That's actually his toilet straight ahead. You would go you just went in and it was just a deep ass hole that went down, and you just did your business. And then here are some artillery shells are up there, and then in the mornings and the evenings the flag. I don't know if I caught it, but every day they raised it and every day they lowered it. Children's Center. I think we passed the like jail that they have here. But yeah, if y'all have time and y'all live in the area, definitely come check this place out. The museum has all the information. There's audios, there are mannequins in there, all sorts of things. But I'm guessing that these ramps here, and then these ramps, well, they're not ramps anymore, but the grass, they were used to bring up the batteries, because all the cannons are lined up there up top, and they're huge cannons up there. Yeah, these right here, they also have cannons up top. These are all off limits though. You can look at them, and then the other side is flat, but you can't climb inside. You can walk up to them to the doors and whatnot, but you can't go up inside. This is probably the only one that you can get into, and then you can see the cannons up there. So, and then they got all the cannonballs in the bottom. But we had to run pretty much the entire perimeter of this a while ago, and it was not fun. I mean, it was, but it wasn't at that time. This is pretty much the mouth of the bay. Not really the mouth, it's more inset, but that was why this fort was very strategic, because of the location, and they used it to basically ward off all the ships that were trying to come in. But the other thing is your oil. I change mine about every 2,500 miles or every 3,000 miles. But that's kind of my general rule. My personal general rule is swap them out, and always the air filter. If you do it yourself, oil and air filter are relatively cheap, so why not? You know. And then one thing that I do like doing, every 2 oil changes, I'll check my air filter. If I don't think about it, or if I don't remember, I check it and clean it whenever I do my oil. But if I do remember to write it down in my notes on my phone, every 2 oil changes, I'll try to lift the tank up and clean that part. That's pretty much about it for bike maintenance in regards to chain cleaning and tightening. They go hand in hand, right? Whenever you clean your chain, just make sure you know you're tightening it right correctly. But I do have a steering dampener, so you do want to check that, and then follow the manufacturer's guidelines when it says to get it cleaned and put some more grease in there. If you want to have your bike for miles and miles, thousands of miles, those 2 things will definitely ensure that your bike has a long life. Obviously you have your 16,000 mile maintenance, 25,000 mile maintenance, but there's that. Oh, sorry, one more thing too, is your greasing up your or oiling up your clutch cable. Oiling up your clutch cable is important, because that shit will snap on you, and that's it, you're stuck. Especially when you start hearing that squeak, you know that tension is building up, and it's time to either change it or oil it up. Then the other thing is bleeding your brakes. And a little dog dude here is blocking it, but bleeding your brakes. You know your bikes feel on your brakes, and how they feel when you're riding, when you're braking, hard brake, soft brake, or whatnot. But for me, if my brakes start feeling squishy, that's kind of when I'm like, okay, let me check my brake fluid. Aside from the visual, when I wash my bike, this comes off and I can see my brake fluid, right, when it starts getting discolored or whatnot. But I do check it. I guess she's doing a vlog or pictures also. But I do check it often. Feel your brakes. It might just be a simple a simple bleed of your brakes, right? Make sure you're bleeding up top and down below, both. And then obviously your rear brake, make sure you're bleeding at all 4 bleeding points. But I do mine when I start feeling a little bit of squishiness in the brakes. And then obviously if that doesn't help the situation, or if that doesn't provide a little more stiffness in your braking power, or however you feel comfortable with your brakes, then the next step would be, you know, hey, pull your brakes off, give them a good cleaning, put them back on, and then bleed them off again. But alright, for initial was 2, oil and chain. After thinking about it, right, making sure that your brake tension, clutch cable is oiled up, brakes are bled, we'll move that over to 4 things that you should regularly check on your bike. Jenna's not on, or else I'd ask her, but I forgot what that little town, oh, Phoebus, that's what that little town is called, Phoebus, right outside of Fort Monroe, when you come over the bridge tunnel from Virginia Beach to Hampton. And we'll take you through. Hopefully there's no traffic. There usually is traffic. Oh. But we'll take you through the Hampton Roads bridge tunnel that everyone likes doing. What? Man, she's not on. Everyone likes tapping their brakes right before you get into the tunnel. For some reason, people have to tap their brakes. I'm not really sure why. Even when there's no cars in front of you, people still tap their brakes. So I don't know if I'm gonna leave that on the video or not, but I almost fucked myself on that. I don't know if that came out. I don't know if it came out or not, but I almost fucked myself. But this is the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel. Yeah. We're about to go under, and then the ships pass over. Oh, hello, Iron Rockets. The sport bike side of Iron Order. But yeah, luckily there's not a lot of cars in front of us. This is where everybody will be tapping their brakes. And Jenna was waving her hands, so she's probably making a very similar video on brake tapping. There's a lot of water above us right now. And the ships, boats, ships, cargo ships, submarines, they all pass right above us. But alright, bike familia, we're gonna go ahead and end this one. Hope y'all enjoyed the views. Hope y'all learned a little something. And come on. What the fuck are you doing? Anyways, I hope y'all learned something. Remember, like, leave a comment. Was I wrong? Was I right? Do you also do the same thing? Do you check the same things? Is there something else that I should have added that we should check on a regular? And remember, subscribe, hit the notification. Alright, peace out. How do you like your helmet? What are you doing?
Panda, 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 panda. I downloaded that song just for that.
For that. Green light.
I know. What did Sharon Osbourne say about Brett?
Oh yeah. Like it's a family show, Sharon.
What the fuck are we doing?
I think they're getting, they're turning in.
Panda, 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 panda.
Clear. Oh. There's no fucking left turns.
That's illegal. Panda. I don't even know what he said, but he's saying panda. I got bras in Atlanta.
Oh, turning. You hype right now.
Panda, panda, panda. Panda. Panda, panda, panda. Don't you do it.
This is how the other guy went down.
Oh, because he got nervous?
Yeah. He thought she was gonna come out on him, and